Great morning, great morning, great morning. You guys, what an amazing day. Hold on, y'all. I got to try to get Instagram together. It's acting up. Great morning. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Hey, you guys, come on in, come on in. I'm going to share. All right. Okay. Let me go. Here we go. Come on in, come on in. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. There we go. There we go. We live, y'all. We live. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Listen. Come on in, you guys. I know. This is the new time. This is day one. This is day one of 6:30. Okay, day one of 6:30. We're back at 6:30. I'm gonna go ahead and share. I want you guys to do the same. If you don't mind, can you share for me? Okay. Let me go ahead and share from here. And we're getting it started. Come on in, come on in. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me share over here. Great morning, Phoenicia. Phoenicia said from the bed, not feeling good. Oh my goodness. Babe, we're praying for you. My husband's sharing from the bed, and it's not because he's not feeling well, okay? Y'all, let me go ahead and share. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Well, it didn't have my normal people up here, honey, but I don't know. All right, you guys, let's get started. Hey, Christina, how are you? Hey, Corey's back. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys, listen, Linda, listen. So many amazing things happening, but this is the beginning of 90 days to destiny, 90 days to destiny, where we're focusing on 5 areas of our life. We're focusing on our spiritual, our physical, our mental, emotional, and financial being. Listen, we're getting ourselves all the way together. One thing from each area for 90 days. One thing. This is about developing consistency and breaking through barriers so that we can truly get free and get on the other side of those things that have been holding us back because we've got someplace to go. So listen, we're getting ready to get started. Corey, I'm so glad you're back. We missed you. All right. So y'all know what we do. We got to get our shot in. Well, now you know we got choices. choices. What to do, what to do, what to do. We've got our Alive Apple Cinnamon. We've got our Alive Apple Beach Cherry. And we've got our Alive Skin and Nails. This is our collagen, our liquid collagen product. Oh my God, y'all. It is amazing, right? So listen, we're going to shake them up. And then we're going to go ahead. This is my new morning shot. Y'all know it was this, then it was this, and now it's this. I'm going to take this a little later and this in the afternoon, right? All right, so here we go, you guys. Let's go. Hey, Summerlin. Summerlin said also tuning in from the bed at home, all right? Listen, let me try this one more time. Okay. All right, so here we go. This is what we're going to do today. Today, we're going to do ABC and our liquid gold, our Live Skin and Beauty. Y'all ready? Let's go. Shot, 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 shot. Everybody shake, shake, shake. Shake the devil off. Brrr. ABC is the easiest. 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, do, re, mi, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, alive. It's you and me. All right, here we go. Let's pour this liquid gold, baby. This liquid gold, honey. I know, Corey. I appreciate it. So here we go. Watch it pour. Watch it pour. Watch it pour. Oh, y'all see the goldy, liquidy juiciness that is flowing. Okay, here we go. Here's to day one. Getting off to a great start, but getting off to a start regardless. Cheers.
Give me ABC.
Mm. 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 All right. Hubby wants ABC. So I'm going to pour him up some ABC. They are mixable. Somebody recommended mixing the Alive Skin and Beauty with a shot of the regular Alive. Put it on ice in a wine glass. Baby, it sounds like something to try. It sounds like something to try. Woo! All right, you guys. Shot done. Let's go. Yes, Corey, it's liquid collagen. Yes, girl. I'm talking about it's golden. It's our liquid gold. All right. So let's talk about it's day one, right? It's day one. Anytime you launch something, anytime you do something new, anytime you start a new habit, whenever you do that day one, first of all, making the decision to do it. Then two, actually implementing it. So yesterday, my sleep schedule was all off, right? My plan was to get up and go to the gym first thing this morning, get back in time to do the live at 6:30, right? Well, I slept a lot because I'm recovering from the weekend, from the convention, from the travel, from all of that expended energy. So my body is like, hey, we need to sit down somewhere and catch up. So I gave myself that time. You know, I know that it is important to allow your body to kind of guide you, because if you don't listen to your body will make you listen, all right? So I took the day and I was real chill. I got some things done, but I really was focusing on allowing my body to rest. My body needed to rest. My ankles were swollen. My ankles were swollen because of doing all that standing in the heat. My ankles were swollen. And normally my Alive will just knock it out. But baby, and I wasn't drinking a lot of water. That's the other thing, you guys. Make sure you drink plenty of water. So I wasn't drinking a lot of water. And so I swole, right? So after yesterday, this morning, I got up, ankles all the way down. They were all the way down because I rested, I elevated my feet, and I drank some water, right? Listen, get your water in. It is a necessity. In your physical, that needs to be added into your physical. If you don't do anything but increase your water intake, It's going to make a difference in your body and how your body processes food and how your body maneuvers. It's going to make a difference. Drink plenty of water, at least 8 ounce bottles, cups, glasses, whatever of water. But really, you're supposed to drink 1/2 of your body weight, right? Some of us weigh a little more, so we got to drink a little more water, right? But get that water in because it's going to make a lot of difference, okay? So our body is, I think, like 70% water, 75% water. You got to have water, right? In order for your cells to do what they're supposed to do, get that water in. So I made a decision that yesterday was going to be a day that I was able to rest. So when I got up this morning, I woke up a little earlier, because I was off, right? Went back to sleep, woke up, and I was like, it's 5 o'clock. But if I'd gone to the gym, I would have gotten to the gym by about 5:25, right? Then I would only had a few minutes to work out, and then I would have had to leave to get back. I didn't want to take the chance because, listen, I still had to get dressed. I had to get out the door. I had to get on the road. I was like, no, I'm going to work out afterwards, right? Because I wanted to make sure that I started at 6:30. I was a little late, okay? I was a little late. I wasn't happy about that, but I was a little late, but it was close to 6:30. That was important to me. So it's day one of whatever you've decided that you're going to work on. And if you've not joined the 90 Days to Destiny group yet, you need to put 90 days in. I'm going to share with you guys the link for you to join the group. If you've already sent a request to join and I've not added you yet, that's because yesterday I was sleeping, okay? So I'll make sure that I add you. I'll make sure that I add you today. All right, let me get to the bottom. And I will go ahead and show you guys that link so that you can go ahead and sign up for that. Okay, I thought I had it on here. Oh, I put it in the comments. That's what I did. Let me create a banner. I might have to delete something. But it's real easy. It's bit.ly / 90 Days to Destiny. Now, I'm going to do something a little different with that group. I'm going to do something a little different with that group, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Hold on. All right. All right. 90 Days to Destiny. bit.ly / 90 Days to Destiny. Okay. So I'm going to do something a little different. I got you, Charla. I'm going to do something a little different. One of the things that I'm going to do in this group is each day, you're going to have something from me. You may have something from one of the other experts in the group, but we're getting ready to have a financial planner, financial advisor in. We're going to have people who do insurance. We're going to have people who do digital marketing, social media. We're going to have mental health professionals. Like spiritual leaders. We're going to have people in there that are going to address all of the 5 areas. You're going to get something for each of the areas, right? You're going to get something for each of the areas. Now, I can't say you'll get something for each of the areas every single day, right? I'm going to try to do that. But I also have people who are going to be adding things. So I want you to know that we are committed to helping you work on all 5 of those areas. What are they again? Spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, and financial, right? So towards that end, I believe in being a product of the product, right? Of leading by example. And so one of the things that I've done is we have launched a journey on a financial journey. My husband and I have launched a financial journey. Our finances have not merged. We've been married for almost 2 years. It's a little over 1, 1 and some months, right? But our finances have not merged, right? We've not slammed in that area. It's a challenging area because he has his way of looking at finances and I have my way of looking at finances, but it's a necessary area for us to come together on. So what I want to encourage you to do is if you have a significant other, have them join you on the journey and let's really work on ourselves together. Why is that so important? Because if one person is working on themselves and improving themselves and the other person is not, You're still going to have some struggle. It's still going to be rough. But if both of you are able to hear the same information at the same time and also be able to grow in these areas, make some decisions and talk about your decisions, talk about your goals together. There's something that is powerful when two people come together to do a thing, right? So making sure that you have that and also having accountability. There's going to be an accountability element in the group. I need you to understand that this is not just for show, not just another something to do, not just another group to be a part of, but we're literally going to be very active over this next 90 days moving. I also want you to know that you can add to the group. I want you to add your value, your expertise to the group. I want you to share things that you think would help the people in the group. This is not about just my voice. This is about us coming together, creating a collective community that is able to empower and inspire one another to create change in our lives, change in our relationships, change in our families, change in our ministries, change in our community, change in our state, our country, and the world. But we can only do it when we start with working on us, okay? Another key part of this group is going to be a book, right? Read a book, read a book, read a book, homeboy, read a book, read a book, a book. We're going to have a book each of the 30 days. There's going to be a book of the month. A book that we're reading throughout the month, that we're going to be referring to lessons in, that we're going to be addressing things in. Like, we're going to have a book that we read. It's not mandatory that you read the book, but I encourage you to read the book. Why? When you read a book, right, it gives you insight. It gives you some wisdom, and it will help you. So there are 3 books that we're going to read, and they're going to deal with mostly mindset. Why? If we change our mind, our thoughts, our beliefs, then we can change our actions, right? You got to get some stuff out of the way. So the first book that we're going to read in our 90-day journey is Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. This is a classic book, Napoleon Hill. I'm telling you, we've got to understand the concepts of wealth, right? And not just wealth in terms of money, but wealth and how you step into wealth. A lot of times our mindset gets in the way, but Think and Grow Rich, we're going to read that book. It's going to help us get our mind together so that we can have a mindset that is ready to go forward, to access and obtain that which God has already said that he's given us the ability to obtain. He says, I've given you the ability to obtain wealth, that I might show forth my covenant with Abraham. So there's purpose in it. God says everything with purpose. It's not money just for the sake of money, but it is obtaining wealth in all areas of your life that you might show forth the covenant that he established with Abraham. And we are part of the Abrahamic covenant, okay? It belongs to us. It is also our birthright. So let's get our mind right so that we can access our birthright. Mind right, birthright. They go together, okay? So we're going to read that. That's going to be the first 30 days. I'll let you know what the second and third books are a little bit later, but that's just what God gave me for right now for this one, Think and Grow Rich. We're starting there, okay? Now, so we got a book, right? We're going to read because we're expanding, and you don't have to just read the book. You can listen to the book. There's audio. You can do Audible. You can do also, you can do on YouTube. YouTube has the entire book that's being read to you chapter by chapter so that it's broken down. Now, you may finish the book in those 30 days, but what I would encourage you to do is go back over those principles and concepts, right? Go back over them for 30 days. Let that be the book that you focus on in those 30 days for you to really get the concepts and apply them to your life, right? So we're taking the journey. It's day one. It's day one, y'all. It's day one. We made a decision that it was not going to be day one or one day, but it was going to be one day. It was going to be day one, and this is that day. So let's lay it out, right? So we're going to read a book, listen to the book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, okay? So we've got to get our mind right? That's our mental. That's our mental, okay? That's our mental. But we also have to deal with our emotions, right? We got to deal with our emotions. We're going to be talking a lot about emotions and how to take control of your emotions. We've been taught vicariously. No one told us this, but we've been taught vicariously that we have no control over our emotions, and it is a lie from the pit of hell. I think it's the biggest lie that we've been told, right? That we have no control over our emotions. We just feel what we feel and, it's fair game, free game. No, it's not. We don't have to feel it like that if we don't want to. So we literally have the ability to shift our emotions. We're going to talk about how do you shift your emotions? How do you do that? We're going to get some skills and some techniques that you can use. Why? Because your emotions will have you making emotional decisions, being reckless, and then you're trying to figure out, wait a minute, what happened? How did I get this deep? How did I get this far gone? Your emotions. You were emotional. You can get emotional. Anybody ever been emotional and made a decision to cut off their nose to spite their face? Like, you made a decision that you know you didn't need to make. You know it wasn't going to be beneficial to you in the long run, but you made the decision because you were mad and you didn't want the person to be right, or you didn't want them to win, or you didn't want them to feel like you needed them. So you said, they said, okay, well, I'll do such and such. And you're like, no, I don't want you to do it now. You didn't do it. You didn't just think of it. I don't want you to do it. Never mind. Right? Anybody ever been in that place where you made an emotional decision that cost you? It may have cost you a relationship. It may have cost you time. It may have cost you money. It may have cost you resources. Anybody ever made an emotional decision that cost them in the long run? Am I the only one? So I'm trying to find out. Because I know I made some. Yeah, I get mad. I'll be like, I don't even want, no, don't even, no, okay? So sometimes in our emotions, we make decisions that are harmful to us. Come on, y'all. I was wondering. Christina said yes. Phoenicia said yes. Me. Yeah. Come on, y'all. Listen. See, in order for us to really grow, we're going to have to be real honest with ourselves. Jaquetta said, you're not by yourself. These emotions, right. So when our emotions are dominating us, when we're not in control of our emotions, but our emotions are in control of us, that's a problem. Why? Our emotions are like an indicator. They're like a gauge on the car. Just because your fuel gauge is low doesn't mean you turn the car off and stop in the middle of the highway, right? It just lets you know, hey, you need to get gas. What if when we saw a gauge, when something went off on the car, we just shut the car down and just stop right there? We'll never get to where God is taking us. Hey, Natalie, how you doing, beautiful? No, emotions are a part of our life. I'm not telling you to be emotionless. I'm telling you to recognize your emotions for what they are, an indicator, a gauge, something that tells you, hey, something's wrong here, something's off here, pay attention. If we understand that our emotions are a gauge and they're not, they're not in control of us, we are in control of them, now we can work with it, okay? Something happens and you get angry. Well, you need to understand why you're angry. What about the situation upset you? Why are you angry? Was there an expectation you had that was not met? You got to figure it out, and then you got to address it. Emotions come as an indicator that there's something in your life that you need to address. Whether you address it just you or you address it with the person, you have to address it. So I'm not telling you not to feel anything. I'm not telling you that you can't have emotions. What I am telling you is that you have control of your emotions, or at least you ought to have control of your emotions. Oh, well, let me not say ought. You can have control over your emotions if you choose that. Or you can choose to say, oh, well, I was in my feelings, so I just, right? That's an excuse. It's not the truth. It's an excuse. Now, you can say, but that's my truth, Dr. V. It's your truth because you're choosing it, not because it's the only option. So if you're ready to make changes in your life, it's going to require you to take control of your emotions. It's going to require you to take control of your thoughts, right? If you take control of your thoughts and your emotions, baby, you've won 80% of the battle, because 80% of what we do is based on our emotions and our thoughts. Change the mind and the emotions, you'll change the behaviors, okay? 80%. So now we know that we've got work to do, right? Now, this isn't just about work for the sake of work. This is about becoming the you that you were created to be. I'm not talking about who Dr. V thinks you should be. I'm not talking about who anybody else thinks you should be. I'm talking about who God created you to be, which means that you got to understand your God identity. If you don't understand your God identity, you will always struggle. Because some of us actually probably do believe that God intends for us to be poor, to be broke, to struggle, to be sick. That's so contrary to the word of God. So what we have to do is we have to understand who God has created us to be. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to walk through that journey of who God created us to be. Who are we? You know, what are we called to do? What's our purpose? Like, we're going to deal with these things because if you have clarity, you can move forward, and you can move forward with precision, right? That means that you don't have to do a lot of extra. I don't know about y'all, but I've had times where I went through so much extra when the path was so much straighter, right? I could have just taken the straight path, but I made it all difficult and complicated and overwhelming. And now I'm stressed out because I don't know. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know. My I don't knows took me out of the game. My I don't knows took me out of position. My I don't knows shifted my posture. Right? All because I did not know everything, right? But listen, when we are dealing with what God has for our life, he may not show us everything, but he'll show us enough to get started. He'll show us our first step. He'll take the first step, and he'll show us our second step. He'll take our second step, and he'll show us our third step. You take your third step, and he'll show you your fourth step. But if you don't take the first step because you can't see the fourth, you're going to miss the journey. And that requires trust in God. How many of you believe that God desires good for your life? Anybody believe God desires good for your life? Anybody else just believe that God desires good for your life? I'm asking this question for a reason, because if we don't believe that that's God's plan for our life, it's very difficult for us to believe that he's going to work in those ways in our life. Christina said yes. Corey said yes to the other one, okay? Anybody else? Phoenicia said yes. Corey said, indeed. Do you believe that God desires good for your life? Because you need to know that. If you don't know that, you're always going to be in a position where you're struggling because you don't believe that God will do it, or that God will do it for you, or that it's meant for you. It may be meant for other people, but not for you. God desires good for us. In Jeremiah 29:11, he says, I know the plans that I have for you. I know them. I know the plans that I have for you. I know. Yes, Natalie, I know them. He says, I know them. Not only do I know them, but let me tell you what they are. They are plans for good and not for evil, to give you a hope and a future, and to take you to an expected end. There's an expected end that God is trying to get us to. But in getting to that expected end, there are times when we just got to trust God. We just got to trust him. And trusting God means moving on what his spirit says, right? We can't wait to figure it all out. We got to move when God speaks. We got to move when God unctions. Because otherwise, what our mind will do for our hyper-rational people, right? Hyper-rational, when we talk about the saboteurs, when you're hyper-rational, one of the things is you're always going to be super logical. You're going to outthink yourself out of a lot of stuff, right? Because you're always trying to think your way through things, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with thinking. Thinking is incredible. We need to think. We need to be better critical thinkers, right? And we need to think, and we also need to act. We need to trust our gut. We need to trust the Spirit of God that resides in us. If you say you're a believer, the Spirit of God resides in you. And you say, I just had a gut feeling. No, the Spirit of God was unctioning you. The Holy Spirit was unctioning you. That's the unctioning of the Holy Spirit. When you just feel something like, And we've been taught not to trust it. We've been taught, don't trust that. But think about the times when you didn't trust that, and then you did something contrary to it, and it went way left. Right? Listen, you got to understand that in this season, you got to develop a greater trust of the God in you. And that's where he resides, is in us. He's not in the sky. He's in us. He lives in us. If we say we're a believer, God lives in us. Yah resides in us. Yahweh resides in us. Right? So when you understand that, you got to learn to trust God in you. Trust the God in you. There are things that me, in my own, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I can do that. But it's not about what I think I can do. It's about what God knows I can do, because guess what? He is the author and the finisher of my faith. He is the one who wrote my story, right? So I've got to understand that God has a plan for my life, and he will walk me through that plan. And I've got to trust him in the journey when I can't see him, when I can't trace him, when it doesn't make sense. But you know it's God. Like, you know it's God. The things that happen, you're like, boom, 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 boom. And you're like, okay, only God could have done this. So we got to trust him. Take the step, take the move, make the journey, and God is going to work it out. The thought of 90 days, doing something consistently for 90 days in each of those 5 areas can be overwhelming. It can be daunting, right? But listen, it is a day-by-day journey. Day 1 is just that day 1. And tomorrow can be your day 1. And the next day can be your day 1, right? And if we just focus on getting through day 1 for 90 days, y'all, we'll be done. And we'll be able to look back and see what we've been able to accomplish in that time. It's day 1. It's day 1. And we get a chance. We get an opportunity to begin a journey to transform our life. Anybody on here just absolutely love the way their life is right now? You love your life right now and you don't want anything to change? Anybody on here want that? Is that you? You're that person, like, no, I love my life. My life is perfect. I have no room for growth. There's nothing I want to change in my life. Everything's good. That's a rare person to find. I'm not saying that you haven't learned how to be content in whatever circumstances you find yourself, but I'm talking about you really do, like, just love your life. Everything's perfect and you don't want to change anything, right? If you do, take the journey. Choose you. Choose to commit to you. I was having a coaching session, and actually this time I wasn't doing the coaching. I was being coached. And so it was one of the, it was like my destiny call, right? It was like my destiny call where, you're talking about things. So we're talking about my business. We're talking about my business. We're talking about my life. And so I was asked a question, and I decided that, listen, I'm going into this and I'm just going to just be raw. I'm just going to be raw. Why? Because in the rawness and the realness of the rawness, I would be able to identify some things that I needed to identify for me, right? So I came to understand that there were some things that happened in my life, in business, and in network marketing that had traumatized me. It traumatized me and it had me stuck, right? And so even though I've done some things, I wasn't over the trauma. I wasn't over it. Like, it still was there, and it still was lingering, and it was holding me back, because what it did was it prevented me from going all in. I can remember, going all in and it's like running, right? Just getting it done, making it happen. But I also know that those things that happened made me hesitant in certain areas. It made me question and doubt my ability. It made me wonder if I could do it. Right? Can I do this? Now, people who've known me for any period of time, who've seen me in different companies, know that I tend to become, I tend to have success, right? Not at the level that I know I'm called to have it. This may not be your testimony, but I know I'm called to have a supernatural level of success in network marketing. I know that. I know I'm called to be a top leader in companies. I know that. And so God has given me glimpses of it, pieces of it in different companies. But now I'm in a place, right? I'm in a place where I have the opportunity to deal with all the things I'm passionate about. All of them. I've never been in a company where I could deal with all the things I'm passionate about and all of me could show up. I'm talking about the profit, because, baby, this company built on God. Baby, built on God. I've never been to a convention as God-centered and God-focused as the one we just left in Atlanta, right? So built on God, so there I can show up spiritually, right? Education. I love education. Education is important to me. We have a digital learning platform. I love digital learning. Like, literally, it's there. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I love trading Forex. I love Forex. And that was actually where my trauma came in, right? So I've been real hesitant to get back into trading, even though I love it. Even though I love it, I love teaching people how to do it. I've taught people to have great success in it, right? People have gone on and done all kinds of things with the education I gave them about Forex. but I backed up. Do you understand? Because of my trauma, because of my fear, angel number 144. So I backed up, but they went forward. They had success with the things that I taught them, which means that if I taught them, I know it, right? So I said, listen, this is the season where I get back into trading because I love it and I've missed it. So I had to start again, right? I had to start again. I had to trust the God in me. I had to trust that I understand. I had to trust the system. I had to trust the education. Like, we even got it so that you can earn while you learn, right? You get educational ideas. Trade from your watch, Siri, place trade. Listen, I'm telling you, it's incredible. And the measures that have been put in to help you protect your money as you go and as you grow. So listen, it's there. I had to have a conversation with our director of education for the company, and I was talking to him and just telling him how much I appreciate him, and just a little bit about my trauma and how the company is providing a space for me to heal. Many people have been disappointed in network marketing. They've been disappointed in their success. They've been disappointed in leadership. They've been disappointed in their results and how things turned out. They've been disappointed, right? I tell people the place where you're traumatized is often also the place of your healing. Now, I'm not saying if you were in an abusive relationship, you need to go back to that abusive relationship to be healed, but some of that healing is going to come in a relationship, right? Because God is restoring you. And in that restoration, there's a process. So I was having this conversation and I was just telling him how much I appreciate him. I shared with him some of my trauma and that I appreciated the company providing me a space for healing, a space where I could regain my trust. If you guys haven't watched the movie Atlas on Netflix, I encourage you to watch it because it really delves into that trauma, the trauma response, and how our very own trauma will cause us to sabotage ourselves, right? Even to the point of losing our life. Check it out, Atlas on Netflix. I don't get paid for that, but guess what I do get paid for? To share with you how amazing this company and these products are. Angel number 144. All right. In the realm of career and professional development, the 144 angel number signifies that you are on the right path toward fulfilling your purpose. Look at God, right? It is a sign of spiritual alignment and a call to trust in the universe's guidance. And when I say universe, I'm talking about God created the universe, and God will require everything in the universe that he created to help align us for purpose and destiny. God, who created the universe, will require everything in this universe. Everything in this universe. I'm talking about all kinds of things will seem to randomly happen, but will bring you together, will bring together a path for you to follow. Some of you done switched over from YouTube to Instagram. Come on, girl. So you've got to understand that God requires the entire universe to work for your good, not just some things, right? It says that positive energies and intentions and actions will manifest your expected results. Trust your angels to deliver all that you'll need. All that you'll need shall be provided. Listen, It's a powerful symbol in the spiritual realm, signifying personal growth, stability, and alignment with one's true purpose. You're not going to get to purpose and destiny without growing. You've got to grow. That's just it. You've got to grow. You've got to grow. It is in that growth that you'll be able to shift things in your life. Okay? And all of us need to grow. No one is exempt from growth. No one. Okay? So we've got to grow. Y'all, what I know is this. What God is doing in this season is going to add the super to our natural, but there are things that we have to do in the natural. There just are things that we have to do in the natural. And what I know is this. God is waiting for us. It's not that we're waiting on him. God is waiting for us to take those initial steps, to choose for it to be day one. He's waiting on us. And either we can go ahead and do what it is God has called us to do, what it is he has deposited in us to do, or we can keep sitting around saying we're waiting on God. It's up to us. We have a choice to make. And we have to decide that we're going to make the choice that's going to move us forward, not the choice that's going to allow us to be complacent. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger, right? I'm just the messenger. Thank you for my stars, whoever sent stars, right? So today, I want you to make some decisions. I want you to decide that you're worth investing in. I want you to decide that you're worth taking a risk on, that you're worth believing in, that you're worth moving. You're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth a 90-day commitment. You're worth that. Because if you don't think you're worth that, why should anyone else? Well, I'm going to tell you, if anybody else doesn't think you're worth it, that's fine. I know you're worth it. I know you're worth a 90-day commitment. But my knowledge that you're worth a 90-day commitment does not change the fact that you have to choose it. That's how it goes. That's just how it goes. How it goes. You know what it is. Listen, to help you get started as we are launching on this Friday and Saturday. Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern. We are going to do No More Sabotage parts 1 and 2 on Friday and Saturday. Saturday, we're going to start at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be 11 to about 1:30 Eastern. Okay, 10 to 12:30 Central, and 8 to 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. But we're going to, those 2 days, do No More Sabotage. And you can go register now. Ignore the date, okay? I didn't change it yesterday. I meant to, I forgot, okay? But I'm going to give you the link for that so that you can go ahead and register. Hold on. Let me get there. Because it's something about knowing your saboteurs, knowing those things that you do to self-sabotage that helps to create change, you know? It gives you at least the knowledge of what your issues and challenges are so that you can do the work on you to help shift your outcome, okay? So go to bit.ly/no more sabotage, bit.ly/no more sabotage, okay? If you have taken the class before, let me know that you want to retake it. DM me, right? DM me and say, hey, Dr. V, I want to retake the class. And I'm going to give you a code to use, and I'm going to allow you to audit the class for free. But let's get this refresher. Let's get the knowledge, and let's get moving. It's time for us to do something for us to change our life. And if we do that, then we position ourselves for God to be able to add his super to our natural. Once we take one step, he's going to show us step 2, and then he'll show us step 3, and then he'll show us step 4. Stop waiting for him to show you step 4 before you've taken even one step. Because the truth of the matter is, God wants to know that he can trust you to move on his word. He can trust you to trust him to do what he said he was going to do, which is what? Listen, he says that, look, listen, I want y'all to hear this. He said that I will be with you always, even to the end of time, that you are the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower. You got to know who God has created you to be. He has created us for success. He's created us to be successful. But it is our limiting beliefs, it is our saboteurs that keep us stuck in a place that doesn't move us forward. And so all we can do is retell the story of all the things that went wrong and how all my life I've had to fight without ever getting to the side where things are working for you, you know, or at least where you recognize that things are working for you. Because even the things that seemed negative are working for you, and they're happening for you and not to you. It's a matter of perspective that changes everything in your life. If you're ready to shift your perspective, make a decision to do so. So you can do that by going to bit.ly/no more sabotage, but most definitely take this 90-day journey with us. It's day one of this next 90 days, y'all. I'm super excited about it. Let's grow. Let's build. Let's become the version of us that God has created us to be. Okay, y'all. Listen, know this. Know that I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. Don't forget to DM me. All right? I love you guys. Be blessed. Mwah.